I keep receiving money, a spoken manifestation. Close your eyes and listen, not to the world around you, but to the world within. You were not born to chase money. You were born to receive it effortlessly, repeatedly, naturally. All things begin in the unseen. Before money ever touches your hands, it flows from the invisible world of thought and feeling. You are not separate from abundance. You are the channel through which it flows. You are not trying to become wealthy, you already are. Every time you affirm, I keep receiving money, you are planting a seed in the garden of your soul. Water it with emotion. Let your heart dance with the joy of already having received. Money is not a stranger to you. It knows your name. It recognizes your frequency. It seeks you like the ocean seeks the shore. You are a divine receiver. There is no effort in receiving what is already yours. See yourself now, your hands open, your heart overflowing, your life surrounded by wealth in all its forms. Let it come. Let it flow. Release the need to worry. Money is not earned by fear, nor does it answer to stress. It answers to confidence. It answers to expectation. Say with conviction, I keep receiving money. Not just once, not just occasionally, but again and again and again. Do not beg, do not doubt, do not wait. Live in the feeling now. The world will catch up. If today you receive a small amount, celebrate, for what you honor expands. If tomorrow you receive more, smile, knowing this is only the beginning. You are not limited by a job, by a person, by a system. You are only limited by your own inner acceptance. Now choose, not with your words, but with your imagination. Picture it, hear the notification, feel the cash, count the abundance, say it with the full weight of your belief. I keep receiving money. Hold that thought, rest in that truth. Let the world shift around you. The source is within you, and it never runs dry. Whatever you assume to be true becomes your experience. This is the unshakable law by which all things are made manifest. It does not matter what you see around you now. It does not matter what your bank account shows or how the world labels you. Your outer life is simply a mirror, reflecting what you have assumed to be true about yourself in the silence of your inner world. And if you desire to keep receiving money, if you desire financial freedom and wealth that flows continuously, then you must first assume that you already are what you seek to become. This is not wishful thinking. It is a conscious movement of your awareness from the facts of life to the truth of being. When you say to yourself, I am wealthy, and feel that statement as real, as natural, as already done, then and only then are the wheels of manifestation turning. You are not commanding the outer world. You are not asking others to change. You are changing your self-concept, and that change must be reflected in the world you see. Think of it this way. Reality is like a stage, and your assumptions are the script. What you assume, you become. If you walk through life feeling like someone who is always struggling with money, always short, always behind, then life will faithfully produce those scenes again and again. But if you change the assumption, even while circumstances scream otherwise, you begin to rewrite your script. You are not trying to manipulate money into your life. You are becoming the version of yourself to whom money naturally flows. This law does not care whether your assumption is true or false, good or bad. It simply takes what you persistently accept as true and makes it real. So ask yourself now, what am I assuming? Am I assuming that money is hard to earn? That I never have enough? Or am I assuming that I am a magnet for abundance? that money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways, that I am always supported by the invisible supply. Assume with feeling. Assume with confidence. Let the words, "I keep receiving money," be more than a phrase. Let them be the song of your inner world. Dwell in the end. Feel now what it feels like to receive money daily, to see your accounts grow, to live freely, unburdened by fear of lack. Do not look to the world for confirmation. Look within. The world will catch up. If a gardener plants seeds and then returns every hour to dig them up and check for growth, he sabotages the very process he initiated. So it is with your assumption. Plant the seed of wealth, nourish it with faith, and leave it alone. Let it work. Let it unfold in its perfect way. Your job is to persist, to hold the assumption even when nothing seems to be changing. Eventually the change will come. Subtle at first, then unstoppable, because you have moved not in the world, but in consciousness, and that movement will be honored. So remember this truth. Assume you are already a magnet for money, and reality must reflect it. Imagination is not merely a tool for fantasy or idle daydreaming. It is the only creative power. Everything you see, everything that exists in the world was once imagined. Before the home was built, the architect saw it in the mind. Before the book was printed, the author lived it within. Before the money flowed, the belief in abundance was first held silently in consciousness. You are always creating through imagination, whether you do so consciously or not. The key is to awaken and deliberately use this power to shape the life you desire. If you want to receive money continuously, effortlessly, and with joy, then you must first see it in your mind's eye. Imagine often, and not just casually, but vividly. Let the scene unfold before you as though you were watching a movie in which you are the central character. Imagine receiving unexpected checks, surprise deposits, offers of opportunities, gifts from unlikely places. But don't stop there. Feel the experience. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom that comes with financial abundance. That feeling is the magnet. When you imagine, do not merely think about the money, think from it. That means you imagine as though it were already your reality. You are not trying to become wealthy, you are being the person who already is. In imagination, you buy freely, you give generously. You move through life unbothered by cost, confident that more is always on the way. You allow that inner world to become more real to you than the physical evidence, because the unseen is the birthplace of all that is seen. And then you persist. You do not imagine once and then walk away disappointed when nothing happens immediately. You live in that state, you return to it often. You make it your home. Every time doubt arises, you return again to the feeling of already having. You do not argue with the senses. You simply remind yourself, what I vividly imagine, feel as true, and persist in must become my reality. You are not separate from the wealth you desire. You are not distant from the flow of abundance. The only gap is the one created by your disbelief. Close it with imagination. Bridge it with feeling. Money does not come because you work harder or suffer longer. It comes because you have aligned your inner world with its presence. Use your imagination to rehearse your new life. Not someday, not one day, but now. Picture your phone lighting up with payment notifications. Imagine looking at your bank account and smiling. Hear the compliments from friends who notice your glow. Feel the security of knowing you can take care of everything with ease. This is not make-believe, this is creation. This is how all things are birthed. Your imagination is the womb of reality, and what you conceive within it with persistence and feeling must be born. So use your imagination deliberately, not as escape but as design. Picture your wealth often, feel it fully, return to it daily, and watch as the world begins to mirror your inner vision, because what you vividly imagine, feel as real, and persist in must manifest. It is law. It is not enough to simply think about money. Thoughts alone are dry, lifeless, and often fleeting. You can repeat affirmations all day, visualize beautiful scenes, and tell yourself you are rich. But unless you feel it deeply and emotionally, nothing changes. Feeling is the secret ingredient. It is the invisible force that gives your desire its heartbeat, its motion, its power. Without feeling, there is no ignition. Without emotion, your imagination remains dormant. You do not manifest what you think about casually. You manifest what you feel as real. The universe responds not to words, but to vibration, and vibration is determined by your dominant emotional state. This is why many people struggle. They say, I want more money, but they feel worried, anxious, or doubtful. Their feeling contradicts their words, so the result is a reflection of what they feel, not what they say. To unlock the flow of money, you must feel the thrill of already having it. Now, not in the future, not when things change, but in this moment, within your imagination, you live as though it is done. You step into the reality where you are already provided for, already wealthy, already free, and as you do, you begin to shift your vibration. You align yourself with a version of you to whom money flows easily. This is not about pretending, it is about assuming the inner state of your desired reality and allowing it to take over your emotional atmosphere. You don't just think, I am rich. You feel the joy of paying bills effortlessly. You feel the pride of helping others. You feel the gratitude for every dollar that shows up. You let that emotional richness saturate your being. Ask yourself right now, what would it feel like if I had all the money I wanted? What would my body feel like? Would I breathe easier? Would I smile more? Would I sleep peacefully at night knowing I am taken care of? Would I walk taller, more confidently, knowing that I lack nothing? That feeling, that is your secret weapon. The more you live in it, the more the world conforms to it. The outer must reflect the inner. It is law. So when you wake up, feel rich. Before you check your bank account, feel abundant. When you receive money, no matter how small, feel grateful and multiply that emotion. Make feeling your first priority. Saturate your imagination with the emotion of wealth until it becomes your new normal. Do not be discouraged by the outer world. It is slow to change only because the feeling hasn't yet settled in. But the moment you consistently feel as though your financial life is already overflowing, the outer will begin to mirror that state. People will show up, ideas will flow, opportunities will arrive, but only when the emotion of wealth becomes dominant. So remember this truth. Thinking is not enough. Feeling is the bridge. Feeling is the invitation. Let your heart beat with the excitement of wealth. Let your body relax into the ease of abundance. Let your emotions sing the song of money received, spent, and multiplied. That is the secret, that is the power, and it has always been within you. Even if your bank account says otherwise, even if the bills are piling up, even if nothing around you looks like abundance, persist in the unseen. The world you currently see is not the truth. It is only the shadow cast by your former thoughts, the echo of your past beliefs. It is not your reality, it is your reflection. And reflection always lags behind the source. You are not here to react to what is, but to create what will be. And you do that not by fighting the visible world, but by ignoring it. By turning away from it, not in denial, but in spiritual authority. You understand that the senses are limited, that what they reveal is temporary and ever-changing. What you see today is already outdated. It is the result of what you used to believe, what you used to feel, what you used to assume to be true. But now you have a new vision, a new assumption, a new state of being. And that inner state is what truly matters, because the outer world must eventually conform to it. That is the law. The mistake most people make is looking at their circumstances and judging their future by what they see. But when you do that, you remain stuck in the same loop, reacting, doubting, and creating more of the same. So ignore the evidence of the senses, not with arrogance, but with power. Look at the empty account and know it is a fading shadow. Feel the lack, but do not identify with it. Instead, identify with the unseen reality you are now constructing within. Picture it, feel it, live in it. Walk through the day knowing you are rich, not because of what you see, but because of what you know. This is where true manifestation begins. When you stop allowing the outside world to dictate how you feel, when you no longer need proof to believe, when you refuse to be swayed by appearances, because you understand that appearances are illusions compared to the truth of consciousness. Persistence in the unseen is not about effort, it's about faith. Not blind faith, but a deep, grounded knowing that what you assume must become. You become unmoved. You stop checking and measuring. You stop wondering how or when. You know it's done because you've seen it within and you've felt the reality of it. So when you say, I keep receiving money and the world says otherwise, ignore the world. Return to your imagination. Return to the feeling. See the money coming in. See yourself smiling, free, fulfilled. Let that unseen world become more real to you than the numbers on a screen or the voices of doubt. And soon the outer world will catch up, slowly at first, then rapidly. Because it must, it has no choice but to reflect your inner state. That's how it works. Do not beg the outer world to change, command it by changing your inner world first. Persist in the unseen. Hold the vision. Feel the reality. Ignore the evidence of the senses and walk by the truth of your imagination. The world you desire is already forming. Gratitude is not just a polite reaction. It is a powerful, energetic force. Every time money comes to you, no matter how small the amount, feel deep, genuine thankfulness. Whether it's a single coin found on the street or a large deposit in your account, receive it with the same spirit, as a divine confirmation that abundance is real, present, and multiplying in your life. Is the multiplier of blessings. It is the open hand that receives and the open heart that expands. When you are truly grateful, you affirm to the universe that you are aware of the flow, that you recognize the supply, and that you are ready for more. What you appreciate appreciates. This is a quiet, divine law, not emotional fluff. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of abundance, and in doing so, it calls more of it into your experience. But most people miss this. They brush off small blessings, they ignore little gains, and they wait to be thankful until something big happens. That is not the way of the conscious creator. The one who understands the inner laws of life knows that every act of receiving, no matter how minor, is evidence that the invisible supply is becoming visible. And every time you respond with heartfelt gratitude, you energize that channel. You say, yes, I see it. Yes, I honor it. Yes, I am ready for more. Feel this deeply. The emotion of gratitude must not be passive. It must be felt with full presence. When you receive money, stop and take a breath. Whisper or shout your thanks. Let it sink into your chest. Let it rise like a warm wave in your heart. Not just for the amount, but for what it means. Proof that the unseen is now showing itself. This practice does something sacred. It shifts your attention away from lack and onto abundance. It rewires your focus. Instead of seeing what you don't have, you begin to see how richly you are already blessed. And as your focus changes, so does your vibration. You go from hoping for more to knowing that more is on the way. And from that place of knowing, the flow multiplies. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about affirming that everything is moving, unfolding, and expanding, even when you cannot see it yet. When you are grateful for what is, you become magnetic to what can be. You signal to the universe that you are not desperate, not in fear, but in trust. You are saying, I recognize the divine movement, I honor the process, I believe in the promise. So start now, make gratitude your daily currency, thank the source for every dollar, every opportunity, every act of receiving. Keep a record if you must. Celebrate the small as if it were large, and the large will follow. Rejoice in the flow, and the flow will increase. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a choice, a habit, a way of living that turns little into plenty and plenty into overflow. Embrace it fully and watch how money begins to find you in ways you never expected. Persistence in the inner state is the foundation of all lasting change. It is not enough to imagine once, feel wealthy for a moment, or affirm abundance a few times. True transformation happens when you live inwardly in the end, in the final outcome you desire, and remain there unwavering, regardless of what the outer world shows. This is how outer reality is formed, from the inside out, from the unseen to the seen. To receive money endlessly, you must first dwell in the consciousness of someone to whom money flows effortlessly. You must enter into that version of yourself in imagination and live there mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, long before anything changes in the physical world. You do not wait for your bank account to change to feel wealthy. You feel wealthy now, in the silence of your inner sanctuary, and you persist in that feeling, knowing that it is the cause. Most people abandon their desires too soon. They get excited for a moment, imagine for a day, and then give up because nothing's happening. But something is happening, just not where their eyes can yet see it. Every time you return to the state of the wish fulfilled, you are building the inner structure that will become the outer form. Every repetition of that inner reality strengthens its roots. And soon it must break through the soil of your life. You must be unmoved by appearances. The senses will often lie. They will show you the opposite of what you desire, but that is only because they reflect old beliefs, the echoes of the past. If you react to them, if you become discouraged or fearful, you fall back into the old state and delay the new. But if you hold your ground inwardly, if you refuse to be shaken, the outer world must bend to match your inner assumption. This is not stubbornness, this is divine authority. This is the understanding that your inner state is the real cause of all things. So choose now to persist in the end. If you desire financial freedom, then you must mentally live as the one who already has it. How would you feel? How would you walk? How would you make decisions? Let that state become your default. Return to it morning and night. Clothe yourself in the feeling of abundance as if it were your skin. Persistence does not mean forcing. It means consistency, calm, confident, steady belief in the invisible truth you have chosen. You are not chasing wealth. You are aligning with it. And once that alignment is stable within, the outer world begins to shift. You'll notice small signs at first, a gift, an idea, a new opportunity. Keep persisting. Let nothing pull you back. The world must change. It must rearrange itself to reflect your inner world. That is not a fantasy, it is law. So persist in the inner state where money flows to you endlessly. Do not look to the world for permission to believe. Look only within. That inner conviction, that quiet persistence, is the seed of your entire new reality. And when it blooms, as it surely will, you will see that the world was only ever waiting on you to believe long enough for it to catch up. You are the source. The money, the abundance, the wealth, it all begins within you. You do not need to force it, chase it, or doubt it. All you must do is assume it, imagine it, feel it, persist in it, and be grateful for it. Even before it appears, the outer world is simply a mirror, faithfully reflecting your inner state. The moment you commit to living inwardly, in the end, where money flows freely, joyfully, and consistently, the outer reality will follow in perfect time. Your job is not to figure out how or when. Your only task is to remain loyal to the unseen vision of your abundance. And from that place, money will not only come, it will continue to come again and again. Hold that inner state, walk by it, live by it, and soon your life will declare one undeniable truth: I keep receiving money. Sincerely, thank you. May your inner world overflow with belief and your outer world reflect it with wealth beyond measure. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Now listen carefully, for what I am about to tell you holds the secret to reshaping your life. Whatever you desire, wealth, health, love, success, can be yours, but you must claim it. Not once, not twice, but over and over until your entire being is saturated with its truth. Say it 100 times, not as a wish, not as a hope, but as a statement of fact. When you declare something repeatedly, your subconscious mind has no choice but to accept it, and once it does, reality bends to match the image you hold inside. You see, the world you experience is nothing but a reflection of your inner world. If you have struggled, it is because the voice within has been speaking words of lack, doubt, and fear. But today, you take control. Today, you speak into existence the life you desire. Choose your words wisely. If you want wealth, say, I am wealthy. If you desire love, say, I am deeply loved and cherished. If health is what you seek, say, I am vibrant, strong, and full of energy. But do not stop at saying it once. Say it 100 times. And with every repetition, feel it more deeply. Your logical mind may resist. It may say, but I don't see it yet. Ignore it. The mind is a servant, not a master. You are planting seeds, and just as a tree does not sprout the moment the seed touches the earth, your manifestation takes root in the unseen before it appears in the seen. Say it 100 times. The first time you may feel doubt. The 10th time you will feel a shift. By the 50th time you will start to believe, and by the 100th time you will know. This is the key. You must say it until it feels natural, until it feels real, because once it feels real within, it must become real without. So do not wait. Do not question. Speak the words that shape your destiny. Say it 100 times and watch how the world conforms to your new reality. It is already done. Repetition is the foundation upon which all transformation is built. It is the tool through which the subconscious mind is impressed, shaping the unseen forces that determine the course of your life. Everything you have ever believed, every habit you have formed, and every reality you have experienced has been created through repetition. Whether you are aware of it or not, the words you have spoken to yourself, the thoughts you have entertained, and the feelings you have nurtured have been continuously repeated until they became ingrained truths within you. The subconscious mind does not argue, it does not filter or analyze. It accepts whatever is impressed upon it through repetition, emotion, and belief. This is why individuals who constantly dwell on lack, failure, or rejection find themselves trapped in cycles of struggle, because their inner conversations have reinforced a state of being that manifests as their external reality. But just as repetition has built the unwanted circumstances of life, it can also construct a new desired reality. Consider for a moment how habits are formed. When you first attempt something new, it may feel unnatural, difficult, or even impossible. But through consistent repetition, what once seemed foreign becomes effortless. The same principle applies to the words and thoughts you impress upon your mind. When you affirm something repeatedly, whether aloud or in silent thought, you are reinforcing an idea, embedding it deeply within your consciousness until it becomes your natural state of being. The power of repetition is evident in every aspect of life. A musician masters their craft not by playing a piece once, but by practicing it over and over until their fingers move effortlessly. An athlete refines their skill through continuous training, each repetition strengthening their abilities. A child learns language not by hearing a word a single time, but through constant exposure and repetition. The mind operates no differently. It absorbs and retains what it is fed consistently, whether constructive or destructive. Many people wonder why their affirmations seem ineffective. They say, "I am wealthy" a few times, but when nothing changes immediately, they abandon the practice. They do not understand that repetition is not about momentary declarations. It is about persistence. You must repeat the new belief until it overrides the old conditioning. The mind, having been trained for years in patterns of limitation, requires time and consistency to be reprogrammed. It is not about saying something once and expecting instant results. It is about saturating your consciousness with the truth you desire to experience. Imagine someone who has spent years believing they are unworthy of love. Their subconscious has accepted this as fact because it has been reinforced through repeated thoughts, emotions, and experiences. To change this, they must persistently introduce a new belief, one that affirms their worth, their value, and their capacity to receive love. But the old belief will not disappear immediately. At first, saying, "I am loved" may feel false, doubt may arise. But with repetition, something remarkable happens. The new belief begins to feel familiar. It starts to take root, and eventually it becomes the dominant truth in their subconscious. The key is to persist beyond the resistance. The mind will protest at first, for it clings to what is familiar, even if it is undesirable. But with relentless repetition, the old must give way to the new. This is why those who understand the power of repetition do not speak words of lack, illness, or failure. They refuse to reinforce anything they do not wish to experience. Instead, they deliberately choose the words and thoughts that align with their desired reality, repeating them until they become unshakable truths. There is no limit to what you can impress upon your subconscious through repetition. Whether you seek abundance, health, confidence, or success, the process remains the same. Speak it. Think it, feel it, again and again. Let repetition mold your inner world, and your outer world must follow. Every word you speak carries immense power, far beyond what most realize. Words are not just sounds or symbols. They are the seeds that, when planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious, have the power to manifest your reality. Just as a farmer plants seeds and nurtures them until they grow into crops, your words are the seeds that eventually grow into your life's experiences. This is a fundamental truth. The words you speak, whether consciously or unconsciously, are shaping your world in ways you may not even fully comprehend. When you speak, you are sending vibrations into the universe, and those vibrations are received by your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like the soil of the earth. It doesn't judge or analyze. It simply accepts what is planted in it. If you plant the seed of fear, doubt, or negativity, your subconscious will nurture that seed until it grows, influencing your life in ways you don't want. On the other hand, if you plant the seed of hope, abundance, love, or success, your subconscious will nurture those thoughts, and they will eventually become your lived reality. Imagine for a moment that your words are like a gardener tending to the soil. If the gardener plants only negative or limiting words, the soil, your subconscious, will eventually produce a harvest of scarcity, frustration, and limitation. However, if the gardener chooses to plant positive, empowering words, the harvest will be a bountiful life full of possibilities, growth, and success. It's not the seed's fault if it doesn't grow as desired. It's the result of the seeds chosen and how they are nurtured over time. Words are also powerful because they are tied to the energy and emotion behind them. It's not enough to just speak words mechanically. Each word carries its own vibrational frequency. If you speak words of success but do not feel the emotion behind them, they will not carry the same weight as words spoken with conviction and belief. The emotional energy you infuse into your words acts like fertilizer, accelerating the growth process and making the seeds of your affirmations take root faster. When you say something, your words begin to shape your perception. Repeated words eventually create a belief. Once a belief is formed, it becomes the lens through which you view the world. For example, if you continuously say, "I am abundant," and feel the truth of that statement, your subconscious begins to believe it as fact. In turn, it starts to align your thoughts, actions, and decisions with that belief, opening doors and opportunities that you might have previously missed. Your world starts to reflect back to you the belief that you've nurtured. The power of words doesn't stop at your inner world. It extends into your external reality. The words you speak affect the people around you, the opportunities that come your way, and the circumstances you find yourself in. When you speak with confidence and positivity, others respond to that energy. They are drawn to you because they can sense your conviction. Similarly, when you speak words of limitation, doubt, or negativity, the world around you reflects that back in ways that reinforce your beliefs. What many fail to realize is that words are not merely passive, they are creative forces. They have the ability to bring forth change, transformation, and new experiences. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are constantly speaking to your subconscious, planting seeds of thought with every word. The key to consciously shaping your reality lies in becoming aware of the words you speak and deliberately choosing those that align with the future you desire. Consider the difference between saying, "I am a failure," and saying, "I am learning and growing every day." The first phrase plants the seed of self-doubt and limitation, while the second plants the seed of growth and possibility. If you say the first phrase often enough, it will shape your belief system and your life circumstances will mirror that belief. But if you speak the second phrase with conviction and repeat it regularly, your subconscious will begin to internalize it, and eventually you will begin to experience growth in every area of your life. The beauty of this process is that it is within your control. You are the gardener of your own life, and you have the power to choose the seeds you plant. Speak with intention. Choose words that empower, uplift, and align with your true desires. Speak words that affirm the reality you wish to create, and trust that, over time, those words will take root and grow into the reality that is your birthright. The words you speak are the keys to unlocking the life you've always dreamed of. Plant them wisely and watch as they bloom into a reality that reflects the richness of your inner world. Repetition, while powerful, is not enough on its own to create lasting change in your life. Words, when spoken repeatedly, begin to influence the subconscious mind, but it is the feeling behind those words that truly activates their transformative power. Words alone are like seeds, but the feeling you attach to them is the water and sunlight that allows them to grow and bloom into reality. To manifest your desires, you must speak with emotional conviction, belief, and unwavering certainty, as if your desires have already been fulfilled. When you speak words without emotional connection, they are just sounds passing through the air. They lack the energetic charge necessary to impress upon your subconscious mind. But when you speak words with feeling, you infuse them with a vibrational frequency that aligns with the very essence of what you wish to manifest. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to words alone. It responds to the energy behind those words. This energy comes from your feelings, your beliefs, and your deep conviction that what you are saying is already a reality. Emotion is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. Every word you speak is a vibration that carries a certain energy. Positive words spoken with genuine emotion and belief send out powerful frequencies into the universe, aligning you with your desired reality. For example, saying, I am successful, with genuine confidence and excitement resonates with your subconscious mind on a much deeper level than saying it mechanically or without conviction. The energy of belief behind your words tells the subconscious that success is already yours, and it begins to work in alignment with that belief. Belief and conviction play a critical role in the manifestation process. When you say something but don't truly believe it, your words are met with resistance. This resistance comes from the subconscious mind, which may doubt the truth of what you are saying. For instance, if you say, I am wealthy, but feel deep down that it's not true or that it's impossible, your subconscious will reject the affirmation. It will not be able to accept the affirmation as truth, because the feeling of lack contradicts the words being spoken. On the other hand, when you speak words with full belief and conviction, when you feel the truth of them as if they have already materialized in your life, the subconscious mind accepts them without resistance. Feeling is the bridge that connects the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. The conscious mind may want something, but it's the emotional power behind that desire that sends the message to the subconscious. When you feel the truth of your words, you are aligning your inner world with the outer reality you wish to create. Imagine that you are affirming something important to you, such as, I am healthy. The power of this affirmation lies not in the repetition alone, but in how you feel when you say it. Do you feel the vitality, the strength, the energy coursing through your body as you speak? Do you picture yourself full of health and well-being? Do you sense that the words are already a reality? If you do, your subconscious mind will accept these words as fact, and the manifestation of health will begin to unfold. Feeling the truth of your words also accelerates the manifestation process. The more emotion you attach to your affirmations, the quicker the energy shifts, and the more rapidly your desires come to fruition. This is why people who can genuinely feel the joy, gratitude, and certainty of what they are manifesting often see results faster than those who simply recite words with no emotional involvement. The universe responds to energy, and emotion is the highest form of energy that you can transmit. Belief and conviction are also essential because they eliminate doubt. Doubt is one of the most powerful forces that can block manifestation. When you speak your desires with true belief and conviction, doubt has no room to enter. Your mind, body, and spirit align with the truth of your words, and the energy that you send out into the universe is one of certainty, not hesitation. When you feel the truth of your affirmations, doubt falls away and your desire becomes an inevitable reality. The truth is, you cannot just say the words. You must live them, feel them, breathe them. When you speak, truly embody the feeling of your words as if they have already been realized. Feel the joy, the freedom, the satisfaction, or the abundance that comes with what you are affirming. Speak as if it is already done, because in the realm of creation it already is. Repetition plus feeling, when combined, create an unstoppable force that shapes your reality. By merging your words with emotion, belief, and conviction, you are transforming the very fabric of your existence, bringing your desires into the physical world. The conscious mind is a powerful force, constantly analyzing, questioning, and challenging every thought that arises. It is designed to protect you, to keep you in your comfort zone, and to ensure that everything aligns with your established beliefs and past experiences. This is why, when you attempt to change your reality by introducing new affirmations or desires, the conscious mind often resists. It will argue, create doubts, and attempt to convince you that what you want is impossible or unrealistic. This resistance is a natural response, rooted in the mind's tendency to stick to what it knows. However, repetition has the remarkable power to break through this resistance, silencing doubt and allowing you to overwrite old conditioning. When you begin affirming a new belief or desire, the conscious mind immediately jumps in with its doubts. For instance, if you affirm, I am wealthy, but your conscious mind believes you are struggling financially, it will argue, no, you're not wealthy. Look at your bank account, the mind will tell you. The resistance comes from the subconscious mind's programming, which has been reinforced by years of experiences, conditioning, and beliefs. The conscious mind relies on these beliefs as a measure of truth. but they are not immutable. They can be changed, overridden, and transformed. The key to breaking this resistance lies in the power of repetition. When you repeat a new affirmation over and over, you begin to bypass the conscious mind's need to analyze and question. It's like walking down a path in the woods. The first time you walk it, there may be obstacles, branches, or confusion, but as you repeat the journey, the path becomes clearer, the obstacles are removed, and it becomes easier to navigate. The same is true with your mind. Through repetition, you carve a new mental pathway, one that aligns with the truth you want to experience. By saying your affirmations or truths 100 times, or however many times it takes, you are breaking through the wall of doubt. Each repetition chips away at the old conditioning, weakening the resistance of the conscious mind. At first, the mind will protest, an attempt to bring up past evidence to the contrary. But as you continue to repeat your new beliefs, the conscious mind starts to grow quiet. It realizes that the more you say something, the more it becomes familiar. The more it becomes familiar, the more it becomes accepted as truth. Repetition alone, however, does not guarantee success. It is the persistence and consistency that brings the breakthrough. When you repeat your affirmations, you are doing more than just saying words. You are embedding them deep into your subconscious, where they can grow and replace the outdated beliefs that have been limiting you. The key to this process is to speak your truth with emotion, belief, and conviction. Each time you repeat your affirmation, feel the truth of it as if it is already your reality. Visualize yourself living the life you are affirming. Experience the emotions associated with it and embrace it as if it has already happened. This emotional connection is what allows the new belief to take root and override the old one. The power of repetition is in its ability to override the old conditioning that resides in your subconscious mind. The conscious mind may argue, but the more you persist in saying your affirmations, the more the subconscious accepts them as the new truth. It is like planting a seed in the soil of your mind. At first, the seed may struggle to take root, but with enough water and attention, it will begin to grow. Over time, it will break through the surface and bloom into a new reality. This process of breaking resistance through repetition is what leads to lasting transformation. By repeating a new truth consistently, you change the way you perceive the world. What once felt impossible or out of reach begins to feel familiar, attainable, and real. The subconscious mind, which once held on to old limiting beliefs, now aligns with your new desires and goals. The resistance that once felt insurmountable begins to dissolve, and you are left with the new truth you have planted. It is important to understand that this process takes time and persistence. The resistance will not disappear overnight, but with each repetition you are strengthening the new belief and weakening the old one. The more you say it, the more it becomes your reality. The mind may resist at first, but repetition eventually silences the doubt, and the new truth becomes undeniable. Over time, you will see this truth manifest in your life, as the new pathways in your mind create a new reality that reflects the beliefs you have consistently affirmed. Faith is the driving force behind all manifestation. It is the quiet yet powerful energy that turns wishes into reality and dreams into tangible experiences. When you speak your desires, the words you utter must be imbued with the certainty of their fulfillment. Faith is not about hoping or wishing for something to happen. It is about knowing without a shadow of doubt that what you desire is already yours. It is the activator, the spark that ignites the process of manifestation. When you speak, do not speak in terms of lack or longing. Do not beg for what you want or approach the universe with a sense of desperation. Begging implies that you do not believe it is already yours, and when you doubt, you are sending a mixed signal to your subconscious mind. The key to manifesting your desires lies in speaking as though your wish has already been fulfilled, in carrying the certainty that what you want is already in motion. This is faith in action. Faith is the unwavering belief that what you ask for is already yours. It is knowing that the moment you declare your desire, it is done. The words you speak, backed by faith, reverberate through your subconscious mind, telling it that your request has been fulfilled. When your mind accepts this as truth, it aligns your thoughts, actions, and environment with your desire. The universe responds to the energy of certainty, and it begins to bring your desire into form. To speak your desire with faith is to declare, not plead. Pleading suggests that you are uncertain, that you do not believe you are worthy of what you seek. When you beg, you send out vibrations of scarcity and lack. But when you declare your desire with absolute faith, you are affirming your right to what you desire. You are telling the universe, I have claimed it, and it is mine. This declaration aligns your inner world with your outer reality, and the two begin to sync. Faith is what turns your spoken words into reality. Words are not just sounds, they are energetic forces that shape your life. When you speak with conviction, you activate the creative power of the subconscious mind. The subconscious, which is responsible for shaping your reality, does not question the validity of your words. It accepts them as truth. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply responds to the repeated thoughts, feelings, and words that are impressed upon it. When you speak your desire with faith, you are impressing your subconscious with the belief that it is already fulfilled. As a result, your external reality must eventually shift to match this inner belief. The words you speak should carry the vibration of certainty. Speak your desire as though it has already manifested, as though it is a part of your present reality. This creates a mental image in your mind of what you desire, and when you see it in your mind's eye, you feel it. Faith is not just intellectual belief, it is a deep emotional connection with what you want. You must feel the joy, excitement, and gratitude of having your desire fulfilled. To declare your desire is to speak with power. When you speak with faith, you are affirming that you are the creator of your reality. You are declaring that you hold the power to shape your life according to your desires. There is no room for doubt or hesitation. You must speak as one who knows it is done, one who is certain that their words have already created the reality they envision. This is the magic of faith. It transforms your desires into reality by aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the outcome you seek. It is essential to maintain unwavering faith in the process. Sometimes it may seem as though your desires are slow to manifest, or doubt may creep in. However, faith requires patience. Trust that your words have been heard and that they are already working behind the scenes to bring your desire into form. Your task is to continue speaking with faith, knowing that what you desire is already on its way. Faith is the activator of the manifestation process. It is the energy that turns thought into form, desire into reality. Speak your desire with certainty, with conviction, and with the absolute belief that it is already yours. The universe is listening, and it responds to the energy of certainty. By declaring your desires with faith, you activate the process of manifestation, and the world around you begins to align with your spoken words. When you speak as one who knows it is done, it is already done. Manifestation is not a matter of chance or luck. It is an inevitable law of the universe. The moment you fix your mind on a particular thought, that thought begins to take root in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. The more you focus on it, the more it grows and eventually externalizes into your reality. Manifestation is a process of alignment where your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions come into harmony with the world you wish to create. It is inevitable because the subconscious mind, when impressed with a consistent thought, will work tirelessly to bring it into physical form. The power of manifestation lies in the repeated focus of your attention. Whatever you dwell upon, whether it is a thought, a desire, or a belief, begins to shape your life. If you continuously focus on a specific goal or vision, it becomes more than just a passing thought. It becomes a dominant idea in your mind, a truth that your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only knows what you constantly impress upon it, and it works to bring that impression to life. The more you speak your desire, whether it is health, wealth, love, or success, the more natural it becomes. At first, speaking your desire might feel foreign, as though you are asking for something that is far from your current reality. However, repetition is the key to breaking this resistance. Each time you speak your desire, you reinforce it in your subconscious. Over time, as you continue to repeat your affirmations, the thought begins to feel more natural. Your subconscious starts to accept it as part of your truth. And this shift in belief is the catalyst that sets the process of manifestation into motion. The idea is simple. You must saturate your mind with the thought of what you want until it is the only thought that dominates your consciousness. When you focus on something consistently, it becomes familiar and eventually it becomes your lived experience. The more you affirm and visualize your desire, the more your reality begins to shift in response. This shift occurs not because the universe is doing something outside of you, but because your mind is reprogramming itself to align with your desires. The subconscious mind cannot deny what it is repeatedly shown. It must bring what is impressed upon it into your outer experience. Manifestation is inevitable because the law of attraction is always at work. The universe is constantly responding to your vibration, and your vibration is a direct result of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. When you fixate on a thought long enough, you begin to emit a frequency that matches that thought. If you focus on abundance, your vibration aligns with prosperity. If you focus on love, your vibration attracts loving experiences. This is the law of attraction in action. The energy you put out is the energy that returns to you. The key to manifestation is consistency. It is not enough to say something once or twice and expect it to materialize. You must make the thought a dominant force in your life. Speak your desire with conviction, visualize it as if it is already here, and repeat it until it feels like the most natural thing in the world. The more natural it feels, the closer you get to experiencing it in your external reality. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. When you believe that your desire is inevitable, you begin to take inspired actions that move you closer to your goal. These actions are not forced. They are guided by the certainty that what you desire is already on its way. As you saturate your mind with the thought of your desire, you begin to notice shifts in your behavior, your circumstances, and the opportunities that present themselves to you. Your external reality will begin to reflect your internal state. Manifestation is not a mystical process. It is the natural result of focusing your mind on a particular thought with unwavering faith. The more you saturate your mind with a vision of what you want, the more inevitable it becomes. Soon, the thought you once struggled to believe becomes the reality you live. It will no longer feel like a distant dream, but rather a part of your present experience. You will no longer need to ask for it or wonder when it will arrive, because it will be here. This is the power of manifestation. It is inevitable when you focus, believe, and act in alignment with your desires. It is a law that is as constant as gravity. What you focus on expands, and what you believe in time will become your lived experience. In conclusion, manifestation is not some distant abstract concept, but a powerful, inevitable process that unfolds when we align our thoughts, words, and emotions with our desires. By speaking our desires with faith, repetition, and certainty, we plant the seeds in our subconscious mind which will inevitably grow and materialize in our reality. The key is consistency, belief, and emotional connection with the words we speak. The more we saturate our minds with the truth of our desires, the more naturally they will become part of our lived experience. Manifestation is a law as universal as gravity. It is always working, shaping our lives based on the thoughts and beliefs we hold. Thank you for taking the time to embrace these powerful principles and allow them to guide you toward your own transformation. Know that what you desire is already on its way, and all you need to do is continue to speak with faith, feel with conviction, and trust in the inevitable process of manifestation. Keep moving forward, knowing that everything you've asked for is already done. Thank you. There is a shift happening. Can you feel it? Something powerful, something life-changing is already moving in your direction. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. The moment you truly accept this, the miracle begins. But understand this. The miracle is not something you wait for, it is something you align with. You do not hope for it, you become it. See the life you desire. Feel the joy of it, the relief of it, the certainty of it. What you are experiencing right now in your imagination is not a fantasy. It is reality being shaped. And soon the world must catch up. There is no need to beg, to chase, or to struggle. Your only task is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To walk with the confidence that what you desire is already making its way to you. Doubt is the only thing that delays. Fear is the only thing that blocks. But faith is the force that clears the path. Faith does not ask if faith knows when. And when is always now. Everything is being rearranged for your good, the people, the circumstances, even the so-called obstacles. They are all shifting in your favor. Do not worry about how, that is not your job. Your job is to know, to believe, and to receive. So I tell you, get ready. A life-changing miracle is not coming, it is already here. Step into it, claim it, and watch the world bow to your inner conviction. Everything that you have ever desired, everything you have ever longed for already exists in the unseen realm. It is not separate from you, nor is it something you must chase or struggle to obtain. It is simply waiting for you to recognize its presence, to accept it as real within yourself. The key to unlocking this hidden reality is your imagination. Your imagination is not a mere tool for daydreaming or idle fantasy. It is the very gateway through which miracles enter your life. Think about it. Everything that has ever been created, every invention, every masterpiece, every great achievement, first existed in someone's mind before it took form in the physical world. A building is first designed in the architect's mind. A song is first heard in the composer's heart. A destiny is first envisioned before it is lived. And so it is with your miracle. It is not something waiting to be handed to you by fate or luck. It is something that must be claimed through your inner world. When you close your eyes and see yourself already possessing what you desire, you are engaging in the same process that brings all things into existence. The moment you allow yourself to fully experience the joy, the relief, the certainty of having what you want, at that very moment the unseen world begins to take shape around your assumption. You may not yet see it with your physical eyes, but that does not mean it is not real. Just as a seed planted in the ground must grow beneath the soil before breaking through the surface, so too must your miracle unfold in the invisible before it becomes visible. Doubt is the only thing that separates you from this manifestation. When you entertain thoughts of lack, when you question whether you are worthy, when you allow fear to creep in, you are shutting the door to the very thing you are asking for. Your imagination must not be a place of hesitation and uncertainty. It must be the place where you dwell as if the miracle has already occurred. Do not wait for circumstances to confirm your belief. The outer world is simply a reflection of your inner state. And if you continue to see yourself as lacking, as waiting, as hoping, then the world will continue to reflect that waiting back to you. But if you dare to walk in the feeling of already having received, if you dare to assume the truth of your desire with absolute certainty, then the world will be forced to reshape itself to match your inner vision. This is why so many people remain stuck in cycles of longing, frustration, and disappointment. They believe only what their senses tell them. They look at their current reality and allow it to dictate what is possible. But the awakened mind knows better. The awakened mind does not wait for proof. It creates the proof. It does not ask for signs, it becomes the sign. The awakened mind understands that imagination is more powerful than any external force because it is the origin of all reality. Now you may ask, if it is this simple, why do so many fail to manifest their desires? The answer is persistence. The moment you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You water it, you trust the process, and you remain patient. But many people plant a vision in their imagination only to uproot it with doubt, with fear, with frustration. They let outside conditions shake their belief instead of standing firm in the knowing that what they have imagined must come to pass. Your only task is to remain faithful to the vision. Live in your imagination as though it were already done. Speak as if it has already happened. Feel as if it is already yours. And when the world begins to shift, when the impossible becomes possible, when doors open where there were none before, you will realize that the miracle was never outside of you. It was always within, waiting for you to claim it. The world you experience is a reflection of the state of being you occupy. If you are waiting for evidence before believing in your miracle, you are delaying its arrival. You must understand that reality conforms to your assumptions, not the other way around. The secret to receiving what you desire is not to hope, not to wish, but to know, to walk, speak, think, and feel as though it is already done. You must carry yourself differently. If you were already in possession of your desire, how would you think? How would you move? How would you speak? How would you feel waking up in the morning? These are not questions to entertain lightly. They are the blueprint for transformation. When you embody the version of yourself that already has what you seek, the world has no choice but to mirror that assumption back to you. Most people believe they must first receive before they can feel gratitude, before they can feel joy, before they can feel relief. But it is the other way around. You must first feel as though it has happened, and then it will come. This is not about pretending or tricking yourself. It is about recognizing that what you assume to be true within yourself must become true in your outer world. Think about the moments in your life when you were absolutely certain about something. Perhaps there was a time when you just knew something was going to work out, and it did. That feeling of certainty was not based on external proof. It was an inner conviction that shaped reality itself. This is the same certainty you must bring to your miracle. You do not need to know how it will unfold. That is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to remain steadfast in your assumption that it is already done. Imagine an actor preparing for a role. They do not simply recite lines, they become the character. They adopt the posture, the mindset, the emotions. They live as though they are that person. And in doing so, they create a reality so compelling that others believe it too. You must do the same with your desired state. If you are seeking love, you must move through life as someone who is already deeply loved and cherished. If you desire financial abundance, you must carry yourself with the ease and confidence of someone who is already wealthy. If you are seeking healing, you must live in the wholeness of already being well. Every thought, every emotion, every action must align with this reality. This does not mean ignoring circumstances or pretending that challenges do not exist. It means refusing to give them power. It means knowing that what is seen is only temporary, but what is assumed is eternal. You do not react to the old, you persist in the new. The moment you choose to embody the feeling of already having your desire, you become the proof of its existence. You no longer seek signs, you are the sign. You do not ask for confirmation, you move in the certainty that what you have assumed must come to pass. Time is not a factor. Do not allow impatience to shake your belief. The world around you is always catching up to the world within you. Trust that the shift has already occurred, and soon you will witness the undeniable evidence of the miracle you have already claimed. Your world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every experience, every circumstance, every so-called coincidence is a direct reflection of the state of your inner world. What you consistently assume, what you believe to be true at the core of your being, will always materialize in your external reality. The universe is not separate from you. It is responding to you. Most people live under the illusion that life is random, that events unfold outside of their control. They react to circumstances instead of realizing that their circumstances are only a projection of their deepest assumptions. If you believe the world is harsh and unforgiving, you will meet resistance at every turn. If you assume that love is scarce and difficult to find, you will encounter relationships that reflect that belief. If you expect financial struggle, you will always find yourself in situations where money seems just out of reach. The outer world has no choice but to confirm what you assume to be true. The question is, what are you assuming? What story are you telling yourself day after day, whether consciously or unconsciously? Pay attention to your inner conversation. The thoughts you entertain, the words you silently repeat, the emotions you dwell in. The seeds are the seeds you are planting in the fertile ground of the universe. And whatever you plant, whether good or bad, must grow. If you want to change your life, you must first change your inner world. This does not mean forcing positivity or suppressing emotions. It means becoming deeply aware of the thoughts and beliefs that run through your mind and choosing new ones that align with the reality you want to experience. It means replacing doubt with faith, replacing fear with confidence, replacing lack with abundance. Imagine for a moment that you are already living the life you desire. How would you think? What would your inner dialogue sound like? Would you be worried about failure, or would you walk in the certainty of success? Would you dwell in loneliness, or would you feel the warmth of love surrounding you? Would you entertain thoughts of struggle, or would you move with the ease of someone who knows that everything is always working out in their favor? You must train your mind to live in the reality you wish to see. This is not a passive process. It requires discipline. You must become vigilant in rejecting any thought that contradicts your desired state. If you wish to experience wealth, you cannot allow thoughts of poverty to take root. If you wish to attract love, you cannot hold on to assumptions of rejection and abandonment. If you seek peace, you cannot indulge in chaos. This is the greatest secret. The world does not change first, you do. And when you do, the world has no choice but to follow. People will begin to treat you differently, not because they have changed, but because your assumption of yourself has shifted. Opportunities will appear where none seemed to exist before. Doors that once remained closed will open effortlessly. Obstacles will dissolve. But these things do not happen by chance. They happen because you have aligned your inner world with the reality you wish to see. Nothing is impossible to the one who masters their inner conversation. The moment you shift your internal dialogue, the universe begins to move on your behalf. There is no need to force, to beg, to struggle. Simply assume the state of already having what you desire and hold to it unwaveringly. Let your mind dwell in that reality so completely that the outer world must rearrange itself to match. What you assume to be true will be reflected in your reality. There are no exceptions. You do not need to seek change outside of yourself. The transformation happens within. Change the story and the universe will confirm it. Change the assumption and the world will bow to your conviction. Doubt is the barrier that stands between you and the life you desire. It is the silent force that delays your miracles, weakens your resolve, and keeps you trapped in a cycle of waiting and wanting. Every time you entertain doubt, you send a signal to the universe that you do not truly believe your desire is yours. And because the universe responds to your deepest convictions, it reflects that uncertainty back to you in the form of delays, obstacles, and unfulfilled dreams. Faith, on the other hand, is the key that unlocks all doors. It is the certainty that what you seek is already yours, even when there is no physical evidence. Faith is not hoping, it is not wishing, it is knowing. It is stepping into the state of already having, already being, already living in the reality of your desire. The moment you detach from doubt and fully attach to faith, the universe begins working in ways that seem miraculous to those who do not understand this principle. Most people struggle because they try to force outcomes. They obsess over how things will unfold. They analyze every possible scenario, worry about the timing, and constantly check for signs of progress. This need for control is rooted in fear. It suggests that they do not truly believe that their desire is on its way. So they feel the need to intervene, to manipulate circumstances, to push things forward through force rather than trust. But miracles do not come through control. They come through surrender. Letting go does not mean giving up. It does not mean you no longer care. It means you release the anxiety, the fear, the constant checking, and step into the absolute certainty that your desire is already done. You do not need to chase what is already yours. You do not need to beg for what has already been granted. You do not need to seek signs when you are the proof. Imagine you have placed an order at a restaurant. Once you have told the waiter what you want, do you worry about whether the kitchen will prepare it? Do you keep asking the waiter if the chef has started cooking? Do you doubt that the food is coming? No, you sit back, relax, and expect your meal to arrive because you know the process is in motion. This is how faith works. You place your order through your imagination, through your belief, through your assumption. And then you trust. You let go of the need to control every detail because you know it is already being prepared for you. Detaching from doubt is not something you do once and forget. It is a practice. The mind will try to pull you back into fear, into worry, into questioning. You must discipline yourself to return to faith again and again. Whenever doubt arises, remind yourself, it is already mine. The universe is already arranging everything in my favor. I do not need to figure it out. I only need to trust. Some people struggle with faith because they think they need to see proof before they can believe. But the truth is, faith creates the proof. The moment you step into unwavering belief, the universe begins aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities to bring your desire to you. You may not see it happening yet, but that does not mean it is not in motion. The roots of a tree grow beneath the soil before you ever see the first sprout. Your miracle is the same. It is growing, even if it is not yet visible. If you want a life-changing miracle, stop trying to force it. Stop worrying about when or how it will happen. Let go of control and step into trust. Speak as though it is already done. Feel the relief of knowing it is yours. Move through your day with the quiet confidence of someone who already has what they desire, because the moment you detach from doubt and fully attach to faith, the universe has no choice but to bring your miracle into being. What you see with your physical eyes is not the full picture. The world around you is simply a reflection of past assumptions, past beliefs, past states of mind. If you allow what currently exists to dictate what is possible for you, you will remain trapped in the cycle of repeating the same reality over and over again. But the truth is this: your current circumstances do not matter. They are not final. They are not permanent. They are not evidence of what is to come, unless you allow them to be. Most people live as though they are at the mercy of their external world. They see lack and assume they are destined to struggle. They experience rejection and assume they are unworthy of love. They encounter obstacles and assume their dreams are impossible. But this is the greatest mistake one can make. The unseen is always working in your favor, shaping and rearranging circumstances to match the state of your inner world. If you persist in faith, if you refuse to waver, the world must shift to accommodate your assumption. Think of a tree in winter. Its branches are bare, the air is cold, and the earth appears lifeless. If someone judged the tree by what they could see in that moment, they might assume it was dead. But the unseen forces of nature are still at work. Beneath the surface, life is stirring. Energy is building, and soon the season will change. The tree does not resist the process. It does not doubt its own renewal. It simply is, knowing that spring will come. This is how you must approach your desires. Even if everything around you seems unchanged, even if the world appears to deny you what you seek, you must remain firm in your belief. Do not be deceived by appearances. The unseen forces of the universe begin to shift. You may not see it yet, but that does not mean it is not happening. Just as the tree does not question whether the leaves will return, you must not question whether your desire will manifest. It must if you persist. Most people fail not because their desires are impossible, but because they give up too soon. They see no immediate change and assume nothing is happening. They let doubt creep in, they waver between belief and disbelief, and in doing so, they disrupt the very process that was working in their favor. But those who persist, those who hold on to their vision, no matter what, always receive what they desire. Imagine an architect drawing the blueprint for a grand building. The moment the design is finalized, the workers begin their task. The foundation is laid, the structure begins to rise, and piece by piece, the vision becomes reality. But what if the architect, after only a few days, declared, "I don't see the building yet, so it must not be happening," and abandoned the project? The building would remain unfinished, not because it was impossible to construct, but because the work was stopped before it could be completed. This is what happens when you let circumstances shake your belief. The moment you persist in the assumption that what you desire is already yours, the foundation is laid, the universe sets things into motion. But if you look around and declare, "I don't see it yet, so it must not be happening," you halt the process. The unseen forces that were working in your favor now have no direction to follow. You must train yourself to see beyond appearances. Feel the reality of your fulfilled desire even when the world tells you otherwise. Walk as though it is already done. Speak as though you have already received it. Move with the confidence of one who knows rather than one who merely hopes. Circumstances do not define you, you define them. They are temporary, malleable, subject to change at any moment. And they will change the moment you refuse to be swayed by what you see and instead hold unwaveringly to what you know to be true. Gratitude is not just a polite expression. It is a powerful force that aligns you with the reality you wish to experience. Most people wait until they receive something before they express gratitude, believing it is a reaction to a gift already given. But true gratitude is proactive. It is an affirmation, a statement to the universe that you already have what you desire, and in doing so you accelerate its arrival. When you begin to give thanks for something before you see it, you are demonstrating complete trust in the unseen. You are declaring that you believe so fully in your miracle that you do not need proof to feel joy. This is the essence of faith, acting as though what you desire is already yours. Gratitude is the bridge between desire and manifestation. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present, and in doing so, it calls more abundance into your life. Imagine two people asking for the same blessing. One is worried, constantly checking for signs, questioning if it will happen, doubting whether they are worthy. The other, however, moves through their days with joy, already feeling the reality of their answered prayer. They say, "Thank you." Before there is anything to see, they smile, they celebrate, they trust. The universe responds to both, but only one is in the proper state to receive. The one who is anxious and doubtful pushes their desire further away, while the one who is grateful draws it closer with ease. This is because gratitude is a signal. It tells the universe that you are already in possession of what you seek, and because the outer world must conform to the inner world, it begins to rearrange itself to match your assumption. When you consistently feel thankful, you are aligning with abundance, not lack. You are focusing on fulfillment, not emptiness, and whatever you focus on expands. Think about the times in your life when things seemed to work effortlessly. Perhaps an unexpected blessing came just when you needed it. Perhaps an opportunity appeared that you could not have planned. Did you notice that in those moments you were likely already in a state of appreciation? You were not worried about how things would unfold. You were not consumed with fear. Instead, you were open, receptive, and grateful. And so, more was given to you. This is not coincidence. This is a fundamental law. The more you acknowledge the good in your life, the more good flows to you. And the most powerful form of gratitude is the kind that is given before the physical evidence appears. When you wake up each day and say, "Thank you for my abundance, thank you for my health, thank you for my answered prayers," you are setting a tone for what must come. Some may argue, "But how can I be grateful for something I do not yet have?" The answer is simple. If you truly believed your desire was already fulfilled, you would naturally feel gratitude. If someone handed you exactly what you wanted in this very moment, would you not immediately say thank you? Then why not say it now? The act of gratitude itself affirms that it is already done. This is why those who master gratitude seem to live in a constant state of receiving. They have discovered the secret. They do not wait for the world to give them reasons to be grateful. They create those reasons by choosing gratitude first. They know that every time they say thank you, they are inviting more of what they desire into their life. You must begin to give thanks now, not later. Do not wait for your circumstances to change. Change your state first. The moment you embody the feeling of already having your miracle, you set the wheels in motion, and soon what you once affirmed in faith will become undeniable in reality. Everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be expressed in your world. The miracle you desire is not a distant possibility, it is a certainty the moment you align your mind, emotions, and actions with its reality. Your imagination is the gateway, your assumptions shape the outcome, and your unwavering faith holds the door open for manifestation. When you detach from doubt and step into gratitude, you accelerate the process, allowing the unseen forces of the universe to bring forth what has always been yours. Now is the time to walk, as though your miracle has already arrived. Speak as if you have received it. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement as though it is already done. Because the truth is, it is done. The moment you believe, the moment you persist, the moment you give thanks in advance, your reality must conform. Trust in the process. Do not let the appearance of delay shake your confidence, for the unseen is always at work. Miracles are not random. They are the natural result of your inner alignment. And as you step forward in faith, expect with certainty that what you have called forth is on its way to you now. Thank you for embracing this truth. Thank you for choosing faith over fear, gratitude over doubt, and persistence over hesitation. Your miracle is here. Receive it. My friend, I ask you now, how would you live if you knew, beyond all doubt, that you were already blessed with everything? If there was nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing to chase, would you worry? Would you doubt? Would you fear? No. You would wake up with peace in your heart, move through your day with confidence, and rest at night, knowing that all is well. But here is the truth. You are already blessed. Everything you seek, everything you long for, already exists within you. You do not need to beg for it, nor struggle to achieve it. You only need to accept it, to claim it, to act as if it is already yours. Your world is a mirror, reflecting your assumptions back to you. If you assume lack, lack is what you see. If you assume struggle, struggle is what you find. But the moment you shift, when you begin to think, feel, and act as though you are abundantly blessed, your world must rearrange itself to confirm that truth. So what does this mean? It means that instead of praying from a place of emptiness, you give thanks as though the prayer has already been answered. Instead of hoping, you know. Instead of waiting, you live as though it is done. Do not look at what your eyes show you, for the eyes only see the past. Instead, see with the eyes of faith. Walk as though doors are already open. Speak as though every need is already met. Carry yourself as one who is whole, loved, and prosperous. And when doubt whispers, when fear knocks at the door, you do not entertain them. You simply return to your assumption. I am blessed. I have everything I need. It is already mine. Because the moment you act as if you are blessed with everything, without hesitation, without contradiction, the world has no choice but to bring it into form. So I ask you, will you claim it? Will you walk in the truth that all you desire is already yours? If so, Then watch as your life transformed before your eyes. What you assume to be true about yourself and your life becomes your experience. Every moment, whether you are aware of it or not, you are shaping your reality through your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. Life does not happen to you, it happens through you. Your inner world, your assumptions, emotions, and convictions, is the blueprint that the outer world follows. When you assume yourself to be blessed, abundant, and whole, life must reflect that assumption back to you. This is not wishful thinking. It is a law as precise as gravity. Consider a person who constantly assumes that life is a struggle. They believe that no matter how hard they work, they will never have enough. What happens? They find themselves always in need, always facing obstacles, always lacking. Even when opportunities come their way, the assumption of lack blinds them to possibilities. They reject chances unconsciously, sabotage their progress, and reinforce the belief that life is unfair. They are not cursed, they are simply living out the script of their own assumptions. Now, imagine another person who assumes they are blessed, regardless of circumstances. They may not yet see material proof of their abundance, but inwardly they know it is theirs. They move with confidence, expect doors to open, and trust that life is working in their favor. When difficulties arise, they remain unmoved, for they know these are temporary shadows that cannot touch the deeper reality of their blessings. And what happens? Their world begins to shift. They attract opportunities, meet the right people, and experience synchronicities that seem almost miraculous. It is not luck. It is the manifestation of their assumption. The power of assumption is not about pretending or faking it until you make it. It is about deeply embodying the truth you wish to see in the world. It is about knowing beyond logic, beyond evidence, that you are already the person you desire to be. When you assume yourself to be blessed, your actions, thoughts, and emotions align with that truth. You carry yourself differently, speak with certainty, and radiate an energy that attracts the very things you seek. There is no force outside of you withholding your blessings. The only barrier between you and the life you desire is the assumption that you do not already have it. The moment you drop the belief in lack, the moment you stop seeing yourself as separate from your blessings, they begin to flow into your life effortlessly. But this requires discipline. It requires you to refuse to entertain doubt, to reject appearances that contradict your assumption, and to remain steadfast in the knowing that what you seek is already yours. Many people spend their lives reacting to circumstances, believing they are powerless, waiting for external changes before they allow themselves to feel joy, peace, or security. But this is backward. Your inner world must shift first. You must dare to assume the feeling of being blessed, even when your senses suggest otherwise. This is the great secret of creation. You do not receive and then believe, you believe first and then you receive. Think of a great actor who takes on a role. They do not merely recite lines, they become the character. They think as the character would think, feel as the character would feel, and immerse themselves so deeply in the role that the audience believes in the performance. The same principle applies to life. You must assume the state of being blessed so completely that it becomes second nature, until the world has no choice but to confirm it. So how do you begin? Start by speaking from the assumption of being blessed. Instead of saying, I hope things get better, say, I am grateful that everything is working out for me. Instead of worrying, trust. Instead of looking for signs of lack, look for signs of abundance. Train your mind to see evidence of your blessings, even in small ways, and soon they will grow beyond measure. When you live in the assumption that you are blessed, you step into a world where everything is working in your favor. People respond to you differently, situations unfold with ease, and what once seemed impossible becomes effortless. The change does not happen outside of you first. It happens within. Your world is nothing but a reflection of your deepest assumptions. Choose wisely and watch as life mirrors back the reality of your blessing. The universe does not respond to your words alone, nor to your external efforts, but to the feeling that resides within you. It is not enough to say that you are blessed, you must feel it. You must embody it. The feeling is the secret, for it is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the inner world and the outer reality. Whatever you feel deeply and consistently, whether joy or sorrow, abundance or lack, will become the substance of your experience. Many people believe that if they struggle enough, work hard enough, or prove themselves worthy, then they will be blessed. But the universe does not operate on struggle, it operates on alignment. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. And what you are is determined by what you feel. If you feel anxious, unworthy, or uncertain, no matter how much effort you put forth, you will continue to encounter circumstances that reflect that inner state. Conversely, when you cultivate the feeling of already being blessed, the world around you begins to shift to match that vibration. Consider a person who constantly feels stressed about money. No matter how much they earn, no matter what opportunities come their way, their dominant feeling is that of lack and financial insecurity. That feeling, like a magnet, draws more lack into their life. Bills seem to multiply, unexpected expenses arise, and opportunities slip through their fingers. Why? Because their internal state is one of struggle, and the universe must conform to that. Now imagine another person who, regardless of their bank account balance, walks through life with the deep, unshakable feeling of abundance. They feel grateful for what they have, expect financial ease, and move with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are taken care of. They do not let temporary circumstances dictate their inner world. And what happens? Opportunities arise effortlessly, money flows in unexpected ways, and life continually reaffirms their sense of wealth. They are not forcing abundance into their life. They are allowing it by aligning their feelings with the reality they desire. This principle applies to every area of life. If you desire love, do not dwell in the feeling of loneliness. Instead, feel love now. If you seek success, do not focus on struggle. Feel the satisfaction of achievement now. If you long for peace, do not entertain anxiety. Breathe deeply, relax, and embody peace now. The moment you assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you set the universe in motion to make it so. But you must be unwavering. Too often people shift between feelings, believing one moment and doubting the next. They feel abundant in the morning, then worry about their finances by nightfall. They feel confident in their dreams one day, then question everything the next. This inconsistency delays the manifestation of their desires. The universe is precise. It does not respond to fleeting emotions, but to deeply ingrained feelings. How then do you cultivate the right feeling? Begin by immersing yourself in gratitude. Gratitude is the gateway to abundance, for it shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. Instead of longing for blessings, recognize the blessings that already surround you, no matter how small. The more you feel gratitude, the more the universe gives you reasons to be grateful. Another way to develop the feeling of being blessed is through imagination. Close your eyes and picture yourself already living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement as if it is happening now. Let those emotions flood your being. Your imagination is not fantasy, it is creation. The feelings you generate in those moments are shaping your future reality. And most importantly, trust. Do not concern yourself with how or when your desires will unfold. Your only task is to hold the feeling. If you can maintain the inner state of being blessed, the outer world must reflect it. This is not wishful thinking. It is law. The feeling is the secret, and when you master it, you master your reality. The physical world you see before you is nothing more than a reflection of past thoughts, past beliefs, and past assumptions. It is not reality in itself, but the shadow of what has already been imagined and felt within. If you wish to change your life, you must not react to what your senses currently show you. Instead, you must persist in the belief that you already have everything you desire, even when external evidence seems to contradict it. Most people live as prisoners of their senses, believing only in what they can see, hear, touch, and measure. They assume that reality is fixed and that they must work within its limits. If they see lack, they believe in lack. If they see struggle, they assume struggle must continue. They do not realize that by accepting appearances as truths, they are simply recreating the same conditions over and over again. They remain trapped in a cycle, unaware that the key to breaking free is to look beyond the senses and persist in a higher truth. To live as a creator rather than a reactor, you must learn to ignore appearances that do not align with your desires. If you desire financial abundance but your bank account says otherwise, do not dwell in frustration or fear. Instead, persist in the inner knowing that you are already abundant. Walk through life as if you possess limitless wealth, not in reckless spending, but in the quiet confidence that all your needs are met. If you long for love but find yourself alone, do not succumb to loneliness. Instead, feel deeply that you are already surrounded by love, already cherished, already fulfilled. This is not self-deception, it is the highest form of truth. The world outside you is always playing catch-up to the world within you. Whatever you persist in feeling and believing will eventually harden into fact. The delay between assumption and manifestation is not proof that your belief is false, but merely the natural unfolding of creation. The foolish person abandons their belief when they do not see immediate results, but the wise one holds fast, knowing that what is felt within must appear without in due time. Think of a farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day in doubt, questioning whether it will grow. He trusts the process. Though he may see only bare soil for days or weeks, he knows that beneath the surface, life is taking shape. He waters the seed, tends to the soil, and waits patiently for the harvest. Just because your senses have not yet caught up does not mean your manifestation is not already on its way. The test of your faith is whether you can remain unmoved by appearances. Many people begin with enthusiasm, affirming their desires and imagining their dreams fulfilled. But when they do not see immediate change, they grow discouraged and return to their old ways of thinking. They let doubt creep in, undoing their own work. True mastery is holding on to your inner vision despite all evidence to the contrary. It is refusing to waver, no matter what the senses show. The world is filled with stories of those who defied appearances and persisted in their vision. The great inventors, the pioneers, the dreamers, they all saw beyond what was and focused on what could be. They ignored the naysayers, ignored the temporary failures, ignored the lack of visible proof, and in time, the world conformed to their belief. You too must live with this certainty. Do not let temporary conditions shake you. What you see today is only the result of yesterday's thoughts. If you want a new tomorrow, you must plant new thoughts today. Assume the feeling of already being the person you wish to be. Let go of the need for proof. Trust that what is real exists first within, and the outer world will rearrange itself accordingly. Persist and you will watch reality bend to match your unwavering belief. Stop asking, stop waiting, stop speaking as if your desire is somewhere in the distant future waiting to be granted. The very act of asking implies lack, and the universe responds not to your words, but to your state of being. If you continuously affirm that something is missing, you reinforce its absence. Instead, speak and think only from the place of fulfillment. Assume that your blessings are already here and life will conform to your assumption. Most people make the mistake of placing their desires outside of themselves. They pray for abundance while feeling poor. They ask for love while feeling lonely. They wish for success while dwelling in doubt. This separation between what they want and what they feel creates an invisible barrier that keeps their desires out of reach. The truth is, you do not receive what you want. You receive what you are. If you wish to experience something in your reality, you must first embody it in your mind and emotions. This means that instead of asking for what you desire, you must assume that you already have it. If you want wealth, do not say, "I need more money." Instead, think, "I am financially secure and everything I need flows to me effortlessly." If you seek love, do not say, "I hope I find someone who loves me." Instead, think, I am deeply loved and appreciated in every aspect of my life. Do not wait for external validation to believe it. Believe it first, and the outer world will reflect it back to you. Gratitude is the key to this transformation. When you are grateful for something, you are acknowledging its presence in your life. Most people reserve gratitude for what they can see, touch, and confirm with their senses. But true power lies in expressing gratitude for what is yet to appear, as if it is already yours. This is not pretending, it is creation. Gratitude for the unseen manifests the seen. Imagine a person who constantly says, "I am so grateful for my abundant life," even when their bank account is low. They do not dwell on lack, they persist in the assumption that they are already wealthy. What happens? Their mindset shifts, their actions align with abundance, and opportunities begin to unfold. Compare this to someone who continuously says, "I never have enough money." Their focus remains on lack, and so they continue to experience it. The universe does not respond to your words, it responds to your dominant feelings and beliefs. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. If you desire better health, do not complain about illness. Speak from the state of already being healthy. If you long for success, do not dwell in frustration. Speak and think as if you are already successful. Live as if what you want is already yours and it must come to pass. This is not a matter of forcing positive thinking or denying reality. It is about shifting your identity. When you claim something as your truth, your actions, emotions, and energy naturally align with that truth. You stop trying, chasing, and waiting, because you already are. And once you embody that state, the world has no choice but to mirror it back to you. Think of the person who walks into a room with quiet confidence, as if they belong there. Without saying a word, people sense their energy and treat them accordingly. Now imagine another person who enters with uncertainty, constantly seeking approval. They are met with hesitation and doubt from others. The difference is not in their words, but in their state of being. Your world is a reflection of your inner state. If you wish to see change, you must first become that change. Speak only from fulfillment. Think only from the perspective of already having what you desire. Be grateful now, not later. The moment you stop asking and start embodying, the universe will respond in kind. If you truly had everything you wanted, how would you think? How would you act? How would you feel? The answer to these questions is the key to transforming your life. Most people live in a state of waiting for the right circumstances, waiting for their desires to manifest, waiting for permission to feel fulfilled. But the secret is this. The moment you embody the state of already having what you desire, your reality must shift to match it. Everything in your world is a reflection of your inner state. If you are constantly looking toward the future, hoping and wishing for something to change, you are affirming that it is not yet yours. You are sending a signal to life that you are still waiting, still lacking, still in the process of becoming. But if you live in the end result, if you step into the feeling of already being, doing, and having what you desire, then life will move to align with that state. Imagine a person who desires success, but constantly says, "One day I'll make it." They push their dream into the future, never allowing themselves to feel successful now. Compare that to someone who wakes up each morning with the mindset, "I am already successful. Everything I do flows from this success." This person walks, speaks, and moves with confidence. They embody their vision now, and because of that, opportunities, ideas, and circumstances begin to shift in their favor. They are not waiting to arrive, they already believe they are there. This is the power of living in the end. It is not about forcing external change. It is about shifting internally so that your external world has no choice but to reflect your new state. If you want love, live as if you are already deeply loved. If you desire financial freedom, live as if abundance is your natural state. If you seek health, live as if you are already whole and vibrant. Do not wait for the conditions to appear. Create them within, and they will manifest outwardly. Living in the end is not about pretending or faking it. It is about fully assuming the role of the person you wish to be. Think about actors who immerse themselves in a role. They do not simply recite lines, they become the character. Their posture, their tone, their energy all shift. And as a result, the audience believes in their performance. Now, imagine taking that level of commitment and applying it to your life. You do not act as if something is coming. You become the version of yourself who already has it. Many people hesitate to do this because they fear they will be disappointed. They think, what if I feel successful but nothing changes? But this fear is the very thing keeping them stuck. The moment you embrace the end result as your present reality, doubt dissolves and faith takes over. And faith is the creative force that brings your vision into form. When you shift into the state of already having what you desire, your emotions change. You no longer feel anxious or desperate. You feel calm, secure, and grateful. Your actions change too. You no longer chase or force things. You allow them to unfold naturally. And because you are now aligned with the energy of your desire, it begins to materialize in ways you could not have planned. Look around at those who succeed effortlessly. They are not questioning whether they will receive their desires. They already know. They walk through life with certainty, as if the outcome is inevitable. This is because they live in the end. They do not waste time doubting or seeking reassurance. They have already arrived internally, and the world must catch up. So, ask yourself, if you had everything you wanted right now, how would you move through the world? What would your thoughts be? How would you feel? Begin living from that place today. Do not wait. Embody the end result and your reality will shift to match it. Faith is the ability to see beyond what is in front of you, to perceive a reality that is not yet visible to the physical eyes but is already real in the unseen. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the key that unlocks the life you desire. When you believe you are blessed beyond measure, even when your current circumstances suggest otherwise, you activate the unseen forces that turn your belief into reality. Most people are conditioned to trust only what they can see, hear, and touch. They measure their potential by their current bank account, their relationships by the way people treat them, and their worth by the opinions of others. But faith does not operate on these terms. Faith is the knowing that what you desire already exists, even before it appears in the physical world. It is an unwavering conviction that reality is shaped not by external conditions, but by internal certainty. Consider the difference between a person who believes in their success despite challenges and a person who allows setbacks to dictate their belief. The first individual presses forward with confidence, knowing that obstacles are temporary and that their success is inevitable. The second person, however, sees difficulties as proof that their dream is unattainable and gives up too soon. The only difference between the two is faith. One sees beyond the physical, while the other is trapped by it. Faith does not mean ignoring reality. It means understanding that what you see now is only a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. Your present circumstances were created by who you were, but your future is being shaped by who you are becoming. If you remain fixated on your current limitations, you will only reinforce them. But if you hold firm to the belief that you are already blessed, already abundant, already successful, then life will rearrange itself to match your conviction. This is why those who succeed often seem to have an unshakable confidence, even in the face of difficulty. They do not allow temporary setbacks to define them. They do not waver in their belief because they know the truth. Their inner world is the cause and the outer world is merely the effect. By maintaining their vision, by believing beyond what the senses report, they shape the physical world instead of being shaped by it. Think of a gardener planting seeds. If they judge the outcome based on what they could immediately see, they might believe the soil is empty and that nothing is happening. But they trust the process. They water the seeds knowing that something is growing beneath the surface, even though it is not yet visible. They do not dig up the soil every day in doubt. They wait in faith, knowing the harvest is inevitable. This is how you must approach life. You may not yet see the evidence of your blessings, but if you persist in the belief that they are already yours, they will emerge in due time. Doubt is the equivalent of uprooting your seeds before they have a chance to grow. Faith, on the other hand, is the unwavering assurance that what you have imagined is already on its way. Gratitude plays a crucial role in this process. When you give thanks for blessings before they appear, you demonstrate true faith. You affirm that you already possess them in the unseen, and this belief compels them into physical form. When you express gratitude for your success, health, love, and abundance, before any visible sign appears, you align yourself with the reality you desire, and the universe must conform to your assumption. So, do not be deceived by appearances. Do not let temporary challenges weaken your faith. See beyond what is in front of you and hold fast to what you know within. Act, speak, and think from the place of already being blessed. Trust in the unseen, for it is the unseen that shapes the seen. Faith does not wait for proof. Faith creates the proof. Believe now and watch as life unfolds to match your conviction. When you act as if you are blessed with everything, you align yourself with the truth that your inner world creates your outer reality. Your assumption shapes your experience, your feelings set the foundation, and your faith sees beyond the physical. You must learn to ignore temporary appearances, speak only from fulfillment, and live in the end result as if your desires are already yours. When you believe beyond what your senses tell you, you activate unseen forces that bring your vision to life. The key is to embody the state of already having what you seek. Walk with confidence, think from the reality you desire, and trust that everything is unfolding in perfect order. The universe responds not to doubt or desperation, but to certainty and conviction. When you persist in this mindset, the world has no choice but to conform. So today, right now, decide to act as if you are already blessed with everything. Feel it, live it, and express gratitude for it. What you assume to be true will become true in your world. Thank you for listening, and may you walk forward knowing that you are already blessed beyond measure.